Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I filmed a video, and that's because I've been sick. I've had an upper respiratory tract infection, bronchitis, laryngitis, and I'm finally getting my voice back. I have almost finished this uni semester. I've finished all my classes, but I'm in STUVAC, which is study vacation, which is the recess break before our exams. So this time next week, I'll be getting ready to go into my first of 3 exams for this semester. So instead of driving an hour to uni today, I thought I would stay home, enjoy the construction. I would stay home, study, do my notes. I thought today would be the perfect opportunity to go through and show you guys how I take my notes on my iPad Pro. This here is my iPad Pro. I've done a video on this before, unboxing it and things like that. So I'll leave that video above, but I wanted to go through and show you guys how I take my notes. If you like this kind of video, please leave a big thumbs up, but subscribe because I'm coming to the end of the uni semester. Like, I will be done in about 2 weeks or so. Setting up and creating a nice study atmosphere beforehand is something that I absolutely love to do. I'll put my salt lamp on just to give that little bit of ambiance. Starting to study is always the hardest part. If I put some nice relaxing music on, if I put my salt lamp on and also my diffuser to make the room smell good, it becomes a little bit more enticing and relaxing, and I kind of trick myself into studying. I use a combination of Notability and Goodnotes in order to create my notes. I use Notability for the things that I would use a binder for. So for example, any lecture slides, any handouts, any lab book stuff, anything that you may get given to you in class, things that you'd print out, all that sort of stuff I would put into Notability. But hand in hand, I also use Goodnotes. And that is where I write the chunk of my actual note-taking things. Language. I'll show you that now. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to show how I import my notes to Notability. This is just my Moodle page. What I'll do, I'll open up the lecture slides online. I go to export it, export to Notability, and it'll go through that process. I want to create a new note, and for the topic, what I'll do is I'll just write out what the topic is actually on, and then I'll write slides so I know exactly what it is in regards to notes, and then I'll also write when it was for. Oh, I'm so sorry about the noise. And then we'll just go back, and this is where I can categorize it. I can go into Notability and I'll have my notes here. The way that I've done it is I've created different dividers for my different courses that I'm taking this semester. Under those different dividers, I have all of my subjects. So for example, this is my personality class. This is the one that I've just imported. I can go into my lecture slides and I can go through and see the entire lecture and all of the information. Now that I have that stored away in its own file, I can easily access that whenever I want it. To start taking notes, I'll go into Notability, open up the slides I want, and then I'll open Goodnotes and bring it to the side. That way I have a split view of what I'm doing and I can work off both. In Goodnotes here, I just have it organized. I'll go into uni, I'll go into the subject, and then I'll go into week 4 so I can start making those notes. I'll tap this icon here. It'll bring up a list of options, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click Quick Note. That way I can start writing my notes immediately and go through that process. I do like to start by saving the page straight away under what the subject is actually called. That way I can go through on this side, have a look at my slides, take out the key information and make my notes while writing them down here on the split screen. What I do like to do though is create a nice heading for the top of my page. For that I use an app called Over. O-V-E-R. So I tend to just reuse this one. I don't really see too much point in creating all of these different pages if I'm just changing the text. So I'll go through, I'll write my heading, and now I can pick a different font. I do, however, like this one. I'll just make that a bit bigger. I have it on a transparent background. We'll just go, yep, save, click export, save, and I'll go back into my Goodnotes and Notability. I'll go to image, click the latest one, and I'll go ahead and crop that straight away, just so I'm not working with a really big picture. Done. And now I have a cute little heading that took no time at all. Once I have my heading on the page, you can always move that around and put it wherever you like. If you want to create mind maps, you can obviously put it in the middle and make notes off to the side and do what you like. I personally like to have mine situated in the middle. I just create these lines off to the side using the straight line, like the shape tool. And then I go ahead with the highlighter, choose whatever color, and then I just create a line here. Make sure that's in the middle. Once that's all done, circle, copy, and I paste that. Then I can just move that since it's not in line. Oh, done. It took no time at all, and that way you have a nice heading that can encourage you to make really nice notes. Now to go ahead with actually writing my notes, I can drag this back and forth so I can see my lecture slides a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. I personally prefer to write my notes with my iPad horizontally. That way I feel like I've got more room to actually write. For me, it's just a lot easier. I've seen a lot of people, even in class, who have their iPads this way and write this way. Whatever way is more comfortable. I just have a personal preference for having it horizontal. I apologize for all the noise coming from outside. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you would have seen me complain about the noise and the construction next door. So I've just gone ahead and finished my notes for this subject. So it didn't take too long, but I've gone through, finished all of my notes from the slides. I can go ahead and wow, there we go. Get rid of that. And this is what my notes end up looking like on a full page. I was able to condense my lecture material onto a page and a half, which is what I kind of like to do for a lecture. That way I can go ahead, I can get the main points, I can get some examples of what I'll actually need for that as well, and even some diagrams and things like that, and just have everything condensed. So when I go through to study, I can be like, okay, well, what was that? Oh, that's right. And I have the bare minimum amount of information because I like to have it more as a refresher of information than the whole chunk of information and I'm trying to learn it. So for those of you who don't know, I am a psychology student. So breaking things down into into major examples, and then also how it can help predict behavior, these things are crucial. With my notes, I do try to keep one set of lecture notes color coded to what the topic is. There's no specific color code that I use, it's just a color theme for each note. When writing my notes, I do like to put things in boxes and highlight the main things and put lines through different pieces of information. That's just so I can separate things off in my mind, and when I go back to look at this later on, I can see it as, oh, that's right, I have those two experiments in the box to the side on situation effects and how that affects personality. So that was my video for today. I really hope that this helps, and even if you're not making university lecture notes, if you're doing homework and stuff for school, or even if it is for uni, even if you don't have an iPad Pro, you can definitely do this in a notebook, on pen and paper, anything that you have available. Before I had the iPad Pro, this is the same method and technique that I used to use as well. I'm coming to the end of the uni semester. I will be done in 2 weeks. But That means I'm gonna have so much more time to put up so many more videos, and I am so excited. As you can tell, I'm probably gonna do videos on like updated apartment things, like new furniture that we've got, how to organize things and plan things. There's just so much in here that I just want to share with you guys, so we have a lot of energy. If you like this kind of video, please subscribe. I would love to have you on board. And if you have any questions at all, please leave them down below. I will answer them as best as I possibly can. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!